Thanks everybody for joining us on Beyond the Ark. I got my special guest KSea with us. Thank you, KSea, for joining us again today.
Thank you.
All right. So this is what we got. So first subject that we are going to talk about in today's video is going to be Jordan and LeBron. And that talk has gone over for, it's going to go over forever. It's been talked about for at least, 10 years or so, and it'll probably be going on until basketball is no more. But this is a little bit different. The conversation is, if you would have put LeBron in Jordan's career, where would he have ranked versus if you would have put Jordan in LeBron's career? And if you want, we could just talk championship years, or we could talk total career. The difference on this is there's a ripple effect. There's a butterfly effect that happens when you do something like this. And we're going to pretty much eliminate that part of it because it's kind of hard to, this happened, that happened. We're just going to go exact situations happen. Just you take out LeBron, you put in Jordan, and vice versa. You put in LeBron, you get Jordan. Take out Jordan, put in LeBron. That's basically what it's going to be. You want to start off with Jordan's career with LeBron James first, or LeBron James's career with Jordan first?
Let's talk this. Okay. So let's start here.
Okay.
Let's go young Jordan taking over the league as, the next LeBron James.
Okay. There you go.
So he comes in out of high school.
Yeah.
As a non-starter, first and foremost. So one, I hate to say this, but Michael Jordan could never. He wasn't developed at 18. He wasn't developed at 17 to do the things that LeBron did. So coming out, he was 20. Well, how old was he when he came into the league? Like 20, 21?
He came out as a junior. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that would make him about 21.
So, think about this. LeBron James came out, and now it was a skewed Rookie of the Year campaign, right? Where, Carmelo Anthony probably should have won. Let's not even do that today.
I do remember that, yeah.
Okay, so Jordan's playing rookie basketball against, ironically, his next heir apparent, which was Carmelo Anthony. I don't see Michael Jordan taking those Cleveland Cavaliers anywhere first year. He wasn't a do it by himself player.
And I'm not trying to take sides, but LeBron didn't either. They didn't make the playoffs. I don't think the first 2 years.
That's right. When did the Bulls first make the playoffs when Jordan played? Because it wasn't his first 2, even 3 years. Because his second year, he broke his foot.
So he made the playoffs. He's never missed the playoffs, I believe, except for with the Wizards. So he made the playoffs. He got swept as a rookie. Then his second year, he broke his foot, and he made the playoffs, I think, with 34 wins. I want to say it was a horrible season. Also back then, they didn't have nearly as many teams. So I think there's 8 teams that make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference or in both conferences. And I want to say there was 11 teams. So only 3 or maybe 12 teams. Now there's 15. So only a couple teams don't make the playoffs. So they made the playoffs with 34, 35 wins. And he broke his foot. The Bulls wanted to tank. They didn't want him, if you saw in his was it The Last Dance? Yeah, they didn't want him to play. They're like, the risk is really high. And he's like, no, we're doing this. He didn't want to tank. So they end up making the playoffs. They squeak as, I think, the 8 seed. They made the playoffs and they got swept by the Boston Celtics. And that's the series that he scored 63 points in one game. And Larry Bird was like, damn, we just played God. Or we just played Jesus or something. It was something like that.
So, okay. Now we know he made the playoffs third year, right? Which is on par with LeBron. Now.
Yeah, he made the playoffs his third year. Yeah.
So now we're going Jordan coming into the league after LeBron has showed his ass all through the 80s and 90s, apparently. So We come into a league. LeBron's still on the Washington Wizards in his 17th year in the league, and LeBron at his 17th year in the league is averaging a triple-double in the playoffs, and he wins the title. Young Michael Jordan is pissed off.
Over the Lakers?
Hey, I'm just saying, look. We're switching these around.
Yeah.
We're switching these around. If you're going like career for career, even at this point in his career, LeBron's much stronger at this age. They should call him Vino. So, anyway, Michael Jordan, I can't see him as somebody playing in today's league, putting up the gaudy numbers he put up in the 80s or 90s. I don't care how many people could camp in the lane. I don't care about any of that. In today's new day and age, you saw what happened. Now, after like 98, the league changed a lot of rules. Jordan was like, fuck that, I'm not playing no more. Then he came back. So long story short, I don't see Jordan winning the ring until maybe, and I definitely don't see him doing it against the Warriors. So, you know what, Kevin, I think we should erase this whole thing. Because that's a terror. I just went on a whole tangent. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So if we were to do it in LeBron James' rookie year, but we're flipping with Michael Jordan, you're giving him Carlos Boozer, who was good but not Carlos Boozer yet. Ricky Davis, Big Z was on that team. Jason Capono, if you remember him, that sharpshooter, wasn't quite known yet. Chris Mim was on that team. I remember him for playing with the Lakers when the year that Shaq got traded. And then Darius Miles. So really, it was Darius Miles, Carlos Boozer, and Ricky Davis, and Big Z. Those were the main players of that team. I don't see them making the playoffs that year, right? So that's
not with young Kobe Bryant in the league at the same time as Michael Jordan now.
Right. So that was the first year. So the second year, he would have had still Big Z. No, actually, just about everyone was gone. So he had Drew Gooden. He was able to get Drew Gooden, and that was. And he still had Ilgauskas, correct. He got Eric Snow as well, and then that was it. I still, maybe he makes the playoffs, but they're out. They're going to be out early because at that point it was the Pistons that were pretty much running the East. So that'd be the way that go. So the next year, you had Drew Gooden again, who was a little bit better. They got Larry Hughes that summer. They were trying to get Ray Allen and it didn't work out. They got Larry Hughes. That was a big sign that they got. And then they still got Big Z. They got Damon Jones. I think they got him from Miami. I think he was in Miami before that. And then Darnell Marshall. They had him too. That was a new addition. I'm sure they'd have to make the playoffs at a certain point. So they would have made the playoffs at some point. I just don't see any big difference because you're talking. See, that would have been his third year. So that would have been his last year in college. Would have normally have been, right?
Yeah.
So they make the playoffs. They don't make anything big. The year that LeBron ended up going to the finals was the following year, so it would be this year. So would Michael Jordan get to the finals with? No. So he wouldn't. You saying he wouldn't have beat the Pistons?
No. And here's why. So look, man. You got to remember what LeBron was doing in those games, man. He was putting up numbers. Straight willpower. Now, Jordan could always shoot. He could floor general like nobody else. But the boy was not a rebound king. LeBron willpowered that team to that. He scored like 26 or 29 straight points or something. Just went nuts. Yeah. I can't see George putting up the boards to even do that, so I can't see that happening.
I don't know what happened to your audio. Your audio kind of it's there, but it's not great.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
He went crazy.
LeBron put up numbers, bro.
Yeah, you're right. He went off against Detroit. It was very impressive. They pushed through. Let's say Jordan does Jordan, and they do, because this would have been rookie year Jordan. Let's say they do get to the finals. Let's just say it. Do they beat the Spurs?
No.
I don't even think it's close.
Not even close. It's a sweep, probably.
It's a sweep. Now Jordan or LeBron did get swept, but if you look at those games, I believe 3 of those games were like within 7 points or something. So they could have been won. They weren't. LeBron didn't have a lot of help, if that help at all. Larry Hughes, the big signing guy, their big free agent, I don't believe he scored a single point in the finals. So I'm assuming, and I can't remember, I just don't remember him playing, which made sense. He probably got hurt or something. It's my best bet. So he didn't have any help. He didn't. It pretty much lost at that point, and it was over. But just the fact that LeBron kept him close enough. But with no experience, the Spurs were already experienced winning multiple championships with a great head coach. Because the Cavs had Mike Brown, who was a new coach. I think it was like second year in the league. Okay, so there goes that. I don't see. Do you see Michael Jordan making the finals the following year? Following year was
when he went to Miami.
No. He went to Miami a couple years later. I think Boston formed that next year, I want to say. So, or that was in 2007, 2008. That was the Boston year.
So let's say he does get to the conference finals against Boston.
Okay.
Let's say he gets to Boston. I think with the team that he had, with the team that LeBron had, I don't think Michael Jordan could have done it. Honestly, LeBron was a bona fide superstar, and there was no definitive number 2. I'm gonna pass it to you. You're gonna score player on that team. There was not. There was LeBron and a bunch of people who could do okay. Maybe. I mean, you saw what happened when he left. They completely crumbled.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan had a staff on him. You gotta realize it.
I'm like looking at the roster; it's trash. So no, they do. I'd be surprised if they even got to the conference finals. But if they did, they would have lost to Boston.
Straight willpower.
So the next year, he lost to LeBron lost to the Magic. That was that one series where LeBron hit I think it was the conference semifinals, because it was Boston, Orlando, I think, in the conference finals. LeBron hit that game winner. It was kind of maybe looking like, hey, it's going to go LeBron James' way. It doesn't. Orlando wins the series. Orlando loses to the Lakers in the NBA Finals.
Swept.
So with that team, that was actually a pretty good team, with Dwight Howard and three-point shooting everywhere. LeBron's team on this team, there was Ben Wallace year, Delonte West, Mo Williams, Boobie Gibson still on that team, Big Z, but he's not really great Big Z anymore, and that's pretty much it. So I don't really see Jordan doing anything against that team.
No.
So far we're looking exactly the same. It's not looking good. This is the last year with LeBron James in Cleveland, or I guess Michael Jordan with Cleveland this year. You have they added Danny Green and Antoine Jameson and Shaquille O'Neal. Very much older Shaquille O'Neal.
He wins the title that year.
You think Jordan wins the title that year with Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, I do.
Against Boston?
Yes.
Boston, and then
by this point he's fed up. Historically,
he doesn't have any help though.
Michael Jordan did. Now I'll give him this. By a certain point, I'm telling you, on maturity levels, by this point in his career, he's gotten frustrated with how he's been getting done in the paint And he's realized that his teammates are now open, so he's not taking crazy shots anymore. Shaquille O'Neal's old ass is camping in the paint. Shaquille's 7'2". Shaquille's actually getting dunks. Michael Jordan's scoring average drops down to like 23 points a game. Shaquille's up there at 15. They're winning titles, at least one, or they get to the finals.
No.
Yeah.
Finals, maybe. I don't think they're getting to the finals. No one would have brought that team to the finals. That team sucked. That team absolutely sucked.
Well, actually, you know what? Let me revise something here. Listen, if Michael Jordan was playing in LeBron's era, and LeBron was not in the league, there's a guy by the name of Kobe Bean Bryant, who was running rim shot, just running rampant through the league at that point, doing his thing. By this point, Kobe's dropped 81 points and let everybody know he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Right? So Michael Jordan wins absolutely no titles with Kobe in the league. Not coming out of the Eastern Conference. Not coming out that Eastern Conference. Because they're not beating Boston.
So you just said they were going to beat Boston.
I just changed my mind.
Oh, you just changed
I remember Kobe's in the league, man. It's fear.
So that ends the time of Kobe, because that was the end of Kobe. That was the last year of Kobe as he won his 2 championships solo. Without Shaq, anyway. So now it brings it to Michael Jordan's taking off his jersey. I'm not playing for Cleveland anymore. I'm out. So he goes to play in Miami, keeping exactly situation to situation.
He can't. Doesn't work.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't work. This is the situation that he put himself in.
Okay. But it still doesn't work because Michael Jordan's not a 6'8" power forward. He's not a small forward either. He's a shooting guard. Dwayne Wade is not running point.
The way they thought about it is you put enough good players together and you just figure it out.
Okay, fair enough. He's not letting Dwayne Wade be great in that series because he wants to give the ball to Chris Bosh.
He finally wants to get an all-star on his team. So let's just say the situation. So does he beat Dallas with him being on the Heat?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
So he wins his first championship. Second year he played was Oklahoma City. So with the same Heat team now, championship experience, do they beat the OKC Thunder with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook,
No.
James Harden?
No, that was a fluke that they lost anyway.
Wow. Okay. I would say that he would win that championship.
No.
Okay,
that's a fluke. That is a fluke lost by that team. I forever wish that whoever did whatever to cause the butterfly effect and make that team lose that year, I just want that to never have happened because that team was destined. I don't want to. Ooh. Okay, look. So I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Getting heated about that OKC team.
I am.
One of the greatest teams ever. And
man,
as quickly as it came together, apart.
Well, Patrick Beverly's a motherfucker. You know, he spelled the real true end for that team. It's Patrick Beverly.
Why do you say that?
Hip checking damn Westbrook, man. And you know what? I can't get on board. You know what? Sidebar. I can't get on board with Patrick Beverly ever. All because of that hip check. All because what he did to really ruin Oklahoma City when he injured Russell Westbrook in the playoffs. I will always hate Patrick Beverly. All right, sorry. Continuing on.
Anyways, so then he plays the Spurs twice. Does he beat the Spurs with Michael Jordan on the Heat? Do they beat the Spurs once, twice, none?
I can see them beating them that the first year when the Heat when the air conditioning broke in the arena.
That was
the second time. I can see him winning that series because LeBron did. Because that was when they were saying LeBron LeBron didn't have change for $1 because he was only good for 3 quarters and stuff like that. They were knocking boy back then. So I I say he would have won then because he wouldn't have gave up in those playoffs like LeBron did.
Well, he would have won both.
I think he would have won the second one, not the first.
Okay, he would have lost the first one. So in your thing, you'd have in your scenario, they win the first one, lose two, and he wins the fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Okay. So in my situation, I would say he won against Dallas, he wins against Oklahoma City, and he loses twice against the Spurs. That's what I think.
Now he's back in Cleveland, right?
Now he goes back to Cleveland saying, you know what? This is not settled.
This is part. Okay, look. So he goes back to Cleveland. Now Cleveland previously they won very few games. Now Michael Jordan is not a rebounder. He doesn't add that. He's a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a passer. He's a shooter. He runs the game.
Right.
He ain't taking that team to no finals.
Well, here's the thing is, Michael Jordan and Kyrie Irving, and I think you said it in the last video, that does not work at all. At all. Because the only reason why it worked with LeBron is LeBron's not trying to score. He just does score, but he looks for his teammates. And Kyrie Irving's all about, it's me. He does just some really good assists, though. But, I mean, it's more about him.
Yeah, all the way.
Jordan ain't passing the ball. He may pass the ball, but it's not going to be much. Okay. Regardless, he didn't have him in the finals the first year. So, Michael Jordan against the Warriors without Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love. I agree. I think LeBron actually pushed him further than Jordan would have pushed him without any help. So, that's another loss. And then the next year, that was the year that they won against that Warrior team. Wins.
No. And do you know why?
Because
Nick Anderson is why.
Nick Anderson.
Michael Jordan had an opportunity, and I'm going to tell you, everybody talks about Michael Jordan dominating through his old playoff runs. Or Orlando, was it 94, 95? Orlando Magic put pause on that boy. Nick Anderson on Jordan, a penultimate play. Nick Anderson strips the ball from Michael Jordan on what would have surely been. I remember I was cheering. I thought the Bulls were going to win. Jordan jersey on. Nick Anderson steals the ball, breaks everybody's heart. So look, LeBron ain't coming back from 1 and 3.
You mean Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan ain't coming back from 1 to 3, man. He's not. He never could.
So that gives him another loss. So Jordan now plays the Kevin Durant Warriors 2 straight times. I don't care who's on his team. One of the years he doesn't have Kyrie even on his team.
Nah, he does nothing. No. He not against easy money. No. I'd say that Jordan may get a title. Now, Jordan might get 2 with the Lakers. Right?
Right.
He might get 2 with the Lakers. The first year with LeBron, he wouldn't have got in.
Where it is right now. So, does Michael Jordan, he leaves, he goes to the Lakers. Does he win with Lonzo Ball and all of them that year?
No, he's frustrated. He's LeBron level frustrated because they're terrible without him on the court. Kind of like he was with the Wizards. That's the Wizards. The Lonzo Ball Lakers are the Washington Wizards.
Actually, does he even get that far?
No.
I don't think he actually gets that far. He didn't play that long. So you figure, because that was, his 15th year? Or was that his 16th year?
16.
16.
So,
yeah, you're right, because last year was his 17th. So 16 years, and how many years did Michael Jordan play? I don't think he played 16.
Total, like maybe 14 or 15.
Yeah,
he skipped 2, then he skipped 2.
So we could just exit that completely out because Michael Jordan never even played that far.
So,
and we're not even counting the 2 years that he disappeared, year and a half that he disappeared. Maybe he didn't go to as many finals from there.
So, I mean,
even if they go to the finals in those situations, and I think with the Cavs, he still would have gone to the finals because the East wasn't. It was decent, but it wasn't great. You figure so that's 4 straight losses to the Warriors, and you said I think you said 2 wins right with Miami Heat. It was just different. 2 wins, so that's 6 losses, 2 championships. So 2 championships, actually 7 appearances because you count the one with if we count the one with the Cavs, which that's even debatable.
Okay.
So there you go. Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's do this the easy way. We don't even got